Every single time you connect to a Wi-Fi network, there's this silent four-step conversation that happens in milliseconds, and it makes everything possible. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that invisible magic. We're talking about DHCP, truly the unsung hero of your internet connection. Think about it. You walk into a coffee shop, you pop open your laptop, you click connect, and boom, you're online. But how? How did your device get all the right info to join that specific network? How did it get its own unique address, just like that? Well, the answer lies in a protocol that's basically a digital concierge for every single device.
Now, to really appreciate why this is so amazing, we first have to understand the problem it solves. See, every device on a network needs its own unique address, an IP address. It's just like how every house needs a unique street address. But imagine if every time you went to a new city, you had to personally go to City Hall and manually fill out paperwork to get a temporary address for your stay. It would be total chaos.
And believe it or not, that's kind of what networking used to be like. The old way meant you had to manually type in this long string of numbers for an IP address, another for something called the subnet mask, which just tells your device how big the local network is, and another for the gateway, which is your door to the wider internet. It was tedious, it was super easy to make a typo, and it was slow. Thankfully, now, it just works. And the reason it just works is because of our hero. So let's meet DHCP. It stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. And this is the protocol that took that messy, manual, chaotic process and turned it into the seamless, automatic connection that we all completely take for granted today. It's the network's friendly gatekeeper. Okay, so what is it exactly? Well, in the simplest terms, DHCP is a client-server protocol. Its entire job, its whole purpose in life, is to automatically hand out IP addresses and other crucial network info to any device that asks for it. It's what makes the whole system dynamic, and honestly, it's brilliant. The whole thing really only involves a few key players. First, you've got the DHCP client. That's your phone, your laptop, your smartwatch, whatever needs to get online. Then there's the DHCP server, which is usually just a piece of software running on your router. It's in charge of a whole pool of available IP addresses. And finally, there's the lease, which is just the temporary assignment of one of those addresses to your device. So how do these players actually talk to each other? How does your device get that lease? Well, it all happens through this incredibly fast, four-step conversation. Let's break it down.
So picture this. Your device, the client, is on the left. It shows up to the network knowing absolutely nothing. No IP address, no idea where to go. So it basically broadcasts a blind request out into the void. The server, on the right, hears that call and responds with an offer. It's this super quick back and forth that gets a device everything it needs to join the party and start communicating.
All right, here are the 4 steps. First, your device sends a DHCP discover. It's shouting, "Hello, is anyone out there? Can anyone give me an address?" Next, any DHCP server on the network hears this and replies with a DHCP offer, basically saying, "Hey, I'm here and I can offer you this specific IP address." Now, your device might get a few offers, so it picks one and sends out a DHCP request. This is it broadcasting to everyone, "Hey, thanks for the offers. I'd like to officially request this one address from that one server." And finally, the server it picked sends back a DHCP ACK, which is short for acknowledgement. It says, "You got it, it's all yours, here's your IP, your lease time, and all the other info you need." And that's it.
And here's the most amazing part. That entire 4-step conversation we just walked through, discover, offer, request, acknowledge, it all happens in the blink of an eye. We are talking about just a few milliseconds. In that time, your device goes from being a total stranger on the network to a fully configured member ready to chat with the rest of the internet.
So why does this one little protocol matter so much? I mean, really, who cares? Well, it's about way more than just convenience. DHCP is a fundamental building block that allows our modern networks to grow and scale. Without it, every coffee shop Wi-Fi, every office network, even your internet at home would be an absolute administrative nightmare. To really see the bigger picture, you have to know where DHCP lives. It operates at what's called the application layer of the internet's main rulebook, the TCP/IP model. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying it's in the same neighborhood as other protocols you've actually heard of, like HTTP, which brings you web pages, or SMTP, which sends your email. It's not some obscure function. It's a high-level service, a crucial part of a much bigger team all working together. So here's the main takeaway.
DHCP is the thing that enables the dynamic and automatic setup of all our devices. It's what makes it possible for billions, literally billions of devices all over the world to connect and disconnect from networks without a second thought, every single day. The internet as we know it today just could not exist at this scale without it.
Really, DHCP is the perfect example of the incredible invisible infrastructure that powers our digital lives. It's one of dozens of these silent protocols just humming along in the background, making things work. And it really makes you wonder, right? What other pieces of magic are happening right now inside our devices that we completely and totally take for granted every day?